In this video, I will share with you guys the struggles that I faced that almost nobody talks about during the recovery process. What you may have to go through. Um, but before I do, go ahead, if you guys like this kind of content, go ahead and add subscribe, like, share this type of content. So, I will pretty much discuss with you what kept me going. And what kept me going was maybe three, perhaps I will discuss with you. Three significant moments in my time while I was recovering that stuck out to me even now. Um, so, and some of the things are, well, one is pretty much I'll talk to you about the care that I got from my brother every weekend. Every weekend, he would come to me with a new tool, new device, as far as workout regimen goes, workout equipment goes. And keep in mind that I was completely paralyzed. So I was completely bedridden, and I used to work out and look forward to working out because I was like, the sooner I can get out of this hospital, the better I would have. I would gain momentum. I would gain access to things, get my driver's license, get my business going up and running again. Um, so I would have more accessibilities, more amenities that I've lost since my brain stroke, because I had no control over it. My credit cards, my marriage, everything was diminished. And some of the things I will talk to you about and that I remember. So my brother would come every weekend and he would give me, I don't know, hour and a half of physical therapy, 2 hours with him. And I got that kind of physical therapy, actually better physical therapy, being a lawyer. He was not a physical therapist. He would come to my hospital, my residence at the time, and he would give me better care than the hospital physical therapist itself. Um, so I would try to do like hand movements, get my fingers moving. I don't know if you can see, but I can't move. I can't get my fingers to straighten this part up. It still bends. And so we worked on getting my hands like this to this, as much as we could. And if you go to my Instagram, which I will link down below, you can see a lot of the pictures that I posted up in there. But anyways, he would come every weekend, and whether I slept or not, I look forward to working out. So it was kind of like every weekend I expected him to be there because he was coming. So I definitely look forward to it. Uh, so I know that that emotion was like, I was kind of like, not kind of, I was definitely looking forward to it. And so as soon as I could walk, as soon as I could get myself on a walker, I was walking more. I remember a physical therapist said to my ex-wife, I said, "Oh, he's just showing off." I was like, I just said to myself, I'm not showing off. I'm just trying to get out of this hellhole. because sooner I can get out of here, the better I am off. And so that's what was going through my head. And it's really hard to talk for me to talk about this because I'll tell you why it's hard for me to talk about this. Because I got discharged November 2nd of 2022. And I was, yeah, nearly 7 months when I was discharged. So March 2022, end of March, almost. So 6 month, 7 month-ish. I will say 6 month-ish. And then, so right after November 2nd, 2022, in August 20th, 23, he passed away from a car accident. And it sticks out to me because I only got 8 months of him. Like, I was bedridden and he was walking just fine. So, and he's gone now, and I will say at least 95% operational. And it's funny how that works. But anyhow, I came back knocking on his door because I'll tell you why I came to his door, but I came to his door and for peace and quiet recovery. So at that time when I came to his house, all this time before, my mother, my father, who passed away, lived with my brother. Okay, he was not married, so he was able to take care of my parents. So he took care of them, and at this point he was taking care of me financially, shelter, food, whatever you want to call it. He was taking care of me. And soon as my brother passed away, I said to my mother, Mom, you don't have any more kids. You have me now, you had my brother, and what if I didn't come to you that day, November 2nd of 2022? What would happen? Because you couldn't maintain this 5-bedroom home, 4-bathroom. You would be all by yourself. There's no tenant, there's no me, if I didn't show up. But luckily I did. I left my ex-wife. I left my family and came here. So that was because I left. That was, well, because I felt like it was very, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, but it was very integral on my part as a person for me to remember what happened during my recovery in the hospital, why I left my ex-wife that day. And what happened was, the whole time, the 7 months I've been in the hospital, this is one of the reasons why I got through what I got through. I remember that my mother would come with my brother on the weekends because she wouldn't like to drive. And then she eventually came because my brother got busy, and she came middle of the week. And I remember her having a conversation with me. I couldn't really talk. And her saying that, hey, you know what? We had this religious festivity, and we had this time where I went with your wife and with your kid, and first of all, she didn't even show up to the religious festivity on time because there was a prayer that's going on, and she didn't show up for timely, effectively showing up for this prayer, and she didn't really care to. And And then she decided to have it. She gets lost. She didn't even get to the prayer or the religious festivity. So my mother's day was completely ruined. On top of that, she decided to have a totally bad conversation with my mother, with my daughter being in the car, and that's where it happened. Where it happened was in my father's graveyard site, and so I was kind of like, that is a no-no, because if anybody felt like that, would have definitely would have been offended by this. I would have been like, wouldn't tolerate this, right? So generally, that's how I reacted, especially being in the hospital because I didn't know how else to react, and I was already out of emotion, so it was out of whack even more. So that was the reason, really, um, got me through the hospital. It led me to many other things that happened, but led me to leaving my wife, because if I treated her mother that way, she wouldn't be okay with it. And so naturally, it was reciprocal. It was mutual. The feeling is mutual. So um, besides, you shouldn't have to do this to anybody's parents. Um, Mine, I was married for 12 years, okay? I mean, this could happen to anybody, men, women, doesn't matter. Um, Truly, you get to find out more about your spouse, your surrounding, your family members, uh, call it your direct family members, your mother, your brother, sister, whoever may be alive, um, and your call it your well wishers, right? And but keep in mind that you will get to find out who is truly, uh, call it rooting for you, your fast recovery and healthy recovery, who is there for emotional support, who's there, period. And I got to find out, boy, I had a rude awakening. I got to find out uh, my surroundings. And I had this brain stroke at 38. So keep in mind that for 20 years, I want to say, uh, no, yeah, 20 years of my life, I would say that I realized that I was completely blind. And 20 years, and when I say I was blind, not blind like I can't see. I mean blind with heart blind. And I mean I can't see further out who's what, how your relationship is, how much you discounted, and so forth. So I say this to you that when you are in your deathbed, or you may look, who knows, you really get to find out who's what, their true colors, and what are they gonna do for you, what they can do for you, right? Even if they did something for you, is it true sincerity? So I got to get through that, and also that was another thing for me to get out as soon as possible from the hospital. I mean, these are the things that I'm discussing with you: emotions, situations that got me through what I went through, and I'm just thinking what else happened that I remember. It's fresh because I'm trying to take you back to what happened to me while I was in the hospital. I know there was plenty of arguments that took place, with not plenty. I will say there was an incident that took place that was an argument between my brother and me. I'm sorry, my brother and my ex-wife in the hospital while I was in front of me while I was in the hospital, where everybody else can hear. Um, because hospitals are not really private, obviously you want to say. So yeah. Um, on top of that, I have to deal with I have to deal with like I had no control over my the company I was working for. I didn't have control over my credit cards. I didn't have control over um, my driver license. As soon as they found out, they canceled my driver license. So I had to earn that back. When I say earn it back, it's like I had to reestablish myself to get my driver license again, because they're not DMV. When I say they, DMV Affairs is not gonna hand you a driver license because you suffer from a stroke. So what if you end up killing somebody on the road? So that's why they took my driver license away. Medical reasons, suspended my license. I mean, I don't blame them, I understand, but I had to go through everything that I lost from this brain stroke. I had to reestablish it again. Hence what I mentioned to you in the last video, which I will link it up here, and in this video. And basically, I had to regain it again. Everything that I mentioned to you about. Another thing is, lastly, I will discuss to you about, this is not a struggle or emotional pain, but I noticed one thing, in my opinion. I will say this to you. And when I mentioned to you about 7 months, within that 7 months, I noticed that within 3 months of that 7 months, it is very vital that you exercise. I mean, you exercise with your, I mean, you mean it. You know, you're gonna exercise. You're gonna eat, you're gonna exercise. I mean, you have nothing else to do. It's like, you know, being locked up and being in a cubicle and you got nothing else to do except for think and work out. Because I was confined to walls and maybe a window, which I had access to sometimes and I didn't have access to. So I worked out. My day regimen was in the hospital bed, you know. I worked out, say 5:30 in the morning, you know, to sporadically here and there, like 2 intermittent sessions in a day. So that would be one, and the other one would be midday, you know, with my physical therapist in the hospital. So that was another 30 minutes. But when I worked out in the morning, it was like hour and a half. And so that was daily for 7 months. And once I get my momentum back, it was like I was ready, like, for everything. Everything was like, hurry up. Everything was like, get me out of here. Give me my discharge paperwork. That's how my brain worked. I really didn't like being in the hospital. See this hole right here? If you see it on my Instagram, again, I will link it down here. And there was a trach. Basically, it helped me through. If you're watching this and you're a nurse or your doctor, you would know that it helped me breathe. And they suctioned it out, so they cleaned it out. It's like a goes to my esophagus, and they cleaned it out, and they basically clear out the congestion so I could speak the best I could at that time, and like from coughs and congestions, whatever may have, so I can speak. Okay, and then they put like a little small device. I don't know what it's called. I forget now at this point. It's been like, it's 2025 now. I was talking about 2022. It's something with a P or something like that, and they they train my voice. Okay, they train my voice, and they basically, the way I sound right now, that was the whole purpose of putting that module inside this trach, and that was based on my request. But like, let's say I would leave it in for 8 hours, and I would train my voice how to speak slowly and clearly as much as I can, and so basically, I had to go through that. I had to train. I had to cross so many milestones. Like I said, I wouldn't want to wish this for anybody to go through. But if you have to, mental tenacity is one, physical tenacity is two, and once you get home, your diet is three. You know, and while you're in the hospital, I know hospital food is not good, but eat what they give you, everything, eat it, because it's gonna help you. Okay, I know that it's not. Um, how can I say? It's not what you prefer. It's not a protein shake. It's not like steak. It's not like potatoes or whatnot. But it is going to get you through. Okay, I went in with 250 pounds. When I was in the hospital, and when I came out, when I got discharged, I was like 173 plus, 174, and so yeah, I mean, that's what I had to go through. But what you'll find in this channel is not just me talking, okay? You hear me talking, and you're gonna see me working out, you're gonna see me where I eat. I'm not gonna always record here. I'll probably be in the car, I'll probably be outside, whatever it may be. But right now, I'm recording from here, and but I will not edit my video, so you'll get the raw footage of what I am telling you about. I know most YouTubers, they edit and so forth, but I'm not gonna edit, so you guys get the raw information, the raw footage. I'm sorry, and also same with videos footage. When I'm working out, I'm not so much as stickler on what is the word I'm looking for? Inform. I mean, I try to follow it as much. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to be going over that as much. I mean, I'm going to tell you what I do. You might not want to do it. It's just a matter of opinion. But again, I do a lot of things that are. I have my days where I have a shortcoming. Especially with my diet, I'm struggling with that right now. I mean, the thing that I tend to do, what I notice, what I like to do, is I don't like to go to a trainer, because what trainers do is they're going to help you achieve what you want to achieve. What I want to achieve is I want to know the how to, like what days you're working out, what's the best time you should work out, what is the best thing you should be taking it, when, what time, what should you be eating, what can I do at my age, what would be recommended. I mean, those kind of things, I doubt very much that I will get it from a trainer. Not every trainer is like that, so I'm sure there is some who might help me with this, but most trainers will not. And even if they do, I still want to achieve the know-how. Okay, they're not gonna give me the know-how. They're gonna give me the goal. I want the system. So, like I mentioned to you, like I want to know how things work, the way it works, so that way I can implement it on my lifestyle. You know. Anyhow, hopefully this helps. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.